Hello, Fitz. It's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
Spectacular, Elijah. Thank you for having me.
Beautiful. And thank you so very much for being here. You say, I truly appreciate you. And you say, Fitz, oftentimes I love to thank my guests for two things. And I do this so often to the point where it has become my anthem. So, firstly, I want to say thank you so very much, Fitz, for investing in yourself. You say, you are on this platform right now because you did invest that in yourself. And oftentimes, Fitz, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. It say some couple of months back, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, Fitz, there was this very tall, unattractive mango tree. And I use the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves they were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, just recently I was on that same road. And this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree, you see. The mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance. And immediately, Fitz, I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did. And it wowed me because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it. Beautiful green leaves and healthy branches. And not just mangoes now, Fitz. I'm talking about ripe mangoes. It was such a lovely experience that day. And I was so, so excited. Here is my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing fit that you are today, that alone has made it impossible for me to skip you. And that's why you got the request from me to be on the show because I was attracted to the fruit of all that you're doing. Your journey, your philosophies, your insights, your work, the impact your work is having, and how you are offering your solution. Your book, stuff's so beautiful. So I've got to say, thank you for doing that to yourself. And secondly, thank you for saying yes to the invite. Because if you had said nope, there was nothing Elisha could do about it. Thanks so much, Fitz.
Of course, of course. Happy to be on your show. Happy to be created, to be compared to a wonderful mango tree. So that's a first for me. And
Beautiful.
I get it. And I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Beautiful, beautiful, Fitz. And thank you for being here once again. So let's get right into it. You see, I am quite excited to have you on the show today, Fitz, for a few reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of a beautiful one, Fitz, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information, and not just knowledge alone, but the application of it. And you see,
Right.
ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking. Why? Because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me and even to the listeners. And the second reason why I'm excited to have the incredible feats on the show is for the sake of the audience. Say, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So those folks trust me for quality, eye-opening, and very important information, of which I am totally convinced, Fitz, that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So for that reason, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or your professional journey, because right now we are so curious. We want to know how Fitz got here. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Fitz, over to you.
Okay. Yeah. So I started teaching fitness at 14. I was a member of a gym and then I applied for a job and thankfully they gave me a shot. They asked if I could teach a class a few days after I applied and Even though I had no experience teaching anything or no certifications, I thought, all right, I give it a go. And I did, and it worked out well. And I went on to get the certifications and I went to university and got a master's degree in exercise and sports sciences. But pretty quickly, my career expanded from that fitness center. I worked over in Europe and all of Scandinavia, so Norway, Sweden, Denmark. I taught fitness in Russia and Scotland and England and so many wonderful places, Puerto Rico. And soon after that, I started teaching fitness on television. And television was a huge turning point for me because I had, not only people that I knew were watching my show, it was called Cardio Jam. People I knew would come and say, I love your show. I work out with you. It's fun. But more importantly, strangers, so many strangers started approaching saying, are you Fitz Koehler? And I'd say, yes, I'm Fitz. And they'd say, well, I love your show. I work out with you every day. I've lost 17 pounds, or my back no longer hurts, or I feel great in my jeans. And so the ability to impact strangers was really compelling to me. That was way more interesting than helping the 50 to 100 people in front of me in a classroom. I mean, I love them too, but when I'm on television, I can help thousands or millions. And so, yeah, my career has evolved through I work on radio. I do a ton of live presentations with keynotes. I host a podcast, which is quite popular, The Fitzness Show. I've authored 5 books, and I'm just addicted to helping get to mass amounts of people to A, convince them that they should focus on their health and fitness, and then B, teach them how, make it understandable, attainable, and fun. And so, Fitzness is my business, and it's booming.
Beautiful. I tell you, it's amazing what you're doing and the impact coming out of it. Beautiful. Thank you. So, I want us to begin first by talking about the biggest fitness myth. So, what is the biggest fitness myth you wish people would stop believing?
That diets have any value. There are 0 diets on earth that anybody should be doing. If somebody tells you to do the intermittent fasting or the keto diet or this diet, they're all garbage. They're all temporary solutions that lead to temporary results. So instead of looking to diets, people need to learn how to eat the right amount of the right food for the specific size they'd like to be. I call it the exact formula for weight loss. It's in my newest book, You Supercharged, explains the formula, but you could also go to fitzness.com and learned about the formula. But yeah, eating healthy or achieving your ideal weight isn't a scam. It's just learning to manage your intake, watching what you put in your mouth, and you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be reasonable. So that's the biggest myth, is that there's a diet that exists that is worth anyone's time and effort.
Wow, I've believed that all my life. Okay, so what about this one? Let's get personal a bit, okay? So, how did your cancer treatment experience change your view of health?
Yeah. So I had breast cancer in 2019, 2020. I was treated for about almost a year and a half of chemo and radiation and surgeries and so forth. And it was god awful. It was hard. And sometimes people hit a crisis, right? They hit some sort of fork in the road. Something goes terribly wrong and they have their eyes um wide open now. They can see what they're really supposed to be doing. And so when I hit the hardest part of cancer, when I was at rock bottom, I realized that I was doing the exact right thing. I was more committed to health and fitness than ever. And I did not need to change gears. I did not need to go in a different direction. I just needed to keep going forward and doing the work that I love and the work that helps people live better and longer, because absolutely nothing reinforces the message that your health is incredibly important than a cancer diagnosis, right? So cancer didn't necessarily change me. It made me more emphatic about who I already was and more committed to helping people learn how to take care of themselves.
It makes you more committed to helping
Yeah.
people learn how to take care of themselves. I got that. So, what is the inspiration behind Morning Mile program?
You know what? So yeah, my Morning Mile program is a before school walking running program that's in over 400 schools around America and several other countries. But it's an opportunity for children to walk and run laps while music is playing. They get to hang out with their friends. They get rewards for distances covered. But I see so many young adults, grown adults that are in terrible shape, overweight. They're sickly because they weren't taught to be healthy as children. And so the morning mile is this most simplistic form of fitness where everybody knows how to walk, everybody knows how to run, unless you've had maybe a birth defect or some sort of trauma. Everybody can walk. And so I took a mostly skillless activity that required zero coaching and said, hey, let's go do this. And so the kids learn that that makes them feel better. It helps them focus. They have a better day if they come out and do the morning mile with us all over the world. And then when they're in their 20s and 30s, they can still start their day walking or running, and they'll still have those tremendous benefits of feeling great and looking great and having energy and having their brains firing on all cylinders. So, yeah, the inspiration was just getting to children before they hit the stage in their life where they thought, crap, I've screwed myself up. I need to lose weight. I'm out of shape. Hopefully, my morning milers will never be out of shape.
That's amazing. And that's so thoughtful of you, Fitz. What you're doing is not just a benefit of now for the kids, but also impacting the future. Because when they look great and they feel great, they'll be able to do greater things. Wow, I got that. So, what is the most rewarding story from Morning Mile?
You know what? I mean, golly, there's so many, but there's parents who reach out to get the morning mile started at their children's school. They hear about it and they think that's a really good idea. And they call and say, well, my child has ADHD. My child gets in trouble a lot because they have too much energy and they can't sit still, or my kid's overweight, or my kid is bad at sports. And to have so many parents reach out and say, my child is thriving now. My child is learning better. My child is getting better grades. My child no longer gets picked on for their weight. My child made the sports team. So I mean, those things, you just want to hear that kids are being successful, that kids are feeling good about themselves. So many of them, we don't do any preaching about nutrition at the morning mile. It's just really, there's an open welcome mat for the kids to come do laps. Yet parents and teachers report that their kids want to eat healthier food. And we're not even coaching that. It's just naturally happening when people start taking care of themselves. They start looking towards other things that help them feel good, look good, and perform well. And so all of that is very exciting. I think it's the mass impact that's the most exciting to me.
Right, right, the mass impact. And that's so true. So, let us talk about your book. What makes You Supercharged different from other fitness books?
Right. So You Supercharged, the exact formula for fitness, weight loss, and longevity is different because it's providing evidence-based material. There are no diets, there's no gimmicks, there's no garbage in the book. It's I tell people the truth, which is very unique. And then I also kick them in the can. I mean, do not read my book unless you want to be told the truth.
Mm,
And so it's brutally honest while being encouraging. And I get away from the brutal honesty because readers know that I love them. I'm very clear about that. But yeah, the book makes fitness understandable, attainable, and fun. It makes nutrition understandable, attainable, and fun. And if you do what I'm telling you to do in the books, whether you're a beginner or you've been working out for 40 years, you will get better. You will live longer. It's just a simple recipe that's been proven over and over, and I've put it all in one place.
beautiful. And thank you for compiling all of this vital information. And I think everyone or anyone intentional about their health should make a purchase of that fantastic book. Thank you for writing that, Fitz. Yeah,
Of
so we
course.
have two more to go. So, how can people see discipline as freedom and not restriction?
Well, discipline, I mean, for certain, you may have to restrain yourself for something you like or something you want to do. But it is unleashing you to the greatness you really want overall. So a lot of people say, well, I'm not motivated. I don't care if you're motivated. Who cares if you're motivated? If you want something, you have to do the work to get there. What if you want a super job? You have to do what it takes to earn the job and then do what it takes to keep the job, right?
Right.
If you want a fit body, I don't care if you're motivated. And you shouldn't care either. You should understand that this is how you get a fit body. And whether you want to or not on that day, the long-term benefit is so worth you overruling the voice in your head that says, take a nap or drink a beer or eat that yucky food, whatever it is, discipline is power. And when you get to end goal, when you accomplish the things you really want, whether it's personally, professionally, health, then you are unleashed. I used to be 40 something pounds heavier. And I was constantly burdened by the thoughts of how much I disliked my stomach or my hips or my butt or whatever was going on with me. That was being in jail, thinking about how much I disliked my body. Once I finally lost the weight and got in great shape, I never, ever, ever, ever think about my thighs, about my hips, about my stomach area. I never think about those things unless I'm thinking, looking pretty good, feeling pretty great. But you release your mind and you remove so much pain and just really untether yourself if you do the things that you need to be done to get you to your goals, whatever goals they are.
Exactly. I tell you, discipline is so important. You don't just need to be motivated alone, you also need to be disciplined because that's what will keep you going. I got that.
Yeah. Well, motivation is your enthusiasm for. So
Mm,
if there's running today, let's say I'm going to run today. If I'm motivated for running, and I run, great. If I'm not motivated, I don't want to run, yet I run, great. I still get the benefits. So it's discipline. Discipline is your actions, your forward moving actions.
exactly, exactly. Motivation alone ain't enough. Got that. You have to be disciplined. Very important. So, what is next for you and the fitness brand?
Yeah. So more bossing people around, more connecting with people, more helping them live better and longer. And so You Supercharged is book number 5 for me. I've got another 5 in my head right now. So there will be more books. I travel a lot to do keynotes to get in people's faces and convince them to do better and be better and teach them how. I host a lot of sporting events. And so, I'm constantly creating content to help folks, to help motivate folks and to help teach them and simplify their lives and make this wellness and longevity thing seem less complicated. So more of the same, more awesome, more exciting, more energy, and hopefully more success.
Beautiful, beautiful. And that's saddened. That is saddened. So, to bring this to an end, Fitz, what would you like to leave the audience with, like a final thought? And to those folks who would like to reach out to you, learn more about the wonderful stuff you're doing, make a purchase of your books, or even ask you questions, how can that be possible?
Yeah, so I've spent my entire adult life creating content to help everybody live better and longer. If they want free content, they go straight to fitzness.com. That's FITZNESS.com, or Fitzness on Instagram or YouTube. And there's a ton of free videos and recipes and everything available. I've got 5 books available. You can purchase them on Amazon. You can purchase them at bookstores. You can purchase them at fitzness.com if you want signed copies, but I work tirelessly to help because I love you all. Whoever you are out there, know that I love you, and your job is to love yourself as much or half as much as I love you. And if you do that, you will get where you want to go. I also have the Fitzness Show podcast where I blah, 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 boss people around at least once a week, usually more often. And the Fitzness Show is available everywhere. But I do hope your listeners follow, but more importantly, I hope they connect. Say hi. I heard you on Elijah's podcast, because I'd rather have best friends than followers.
Rather have best friends than followers. Okay, I get that. So that's gonna be the end of the show, Fitz. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing this lovely things.
Thanks for having me. Bye, everybody.